Welcome to Global Watch, your lens into the world's most pressing issues. Today, we tackle a question echoing across capitals and living rooms. Did the US strike on Iran? Operation Midnight Hammer cause more harm than good? We'll unpack the events, dissect their fallout, and peer into an uncertain future. From military strategy to human suffering, this story demands your attention. Subscribe to Global Watch and join our community of informed global citizens. What happened? On June 21, 2025, the US launched Operation Midnight Hammer, targeting Iran's nuclear facilities at Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan, plus air defense systems. Over 125 aircraft, including B-2 bombers with bunker buster bombs, and Tomahawk missiles struck with precision, per the Pentagon, neutralizing key nuclear components without civilian casualties. Iran admitted limited damage, but decried the sovereignty violation. This marked a seismic shift. After 9 days defending Israel from Iranian missiles, the US became an offensive player in the Israel-Iran conflict, escalating a regional shadow war into a global crisis with nuclear risks. Iran retaliated, firing over 40 ballistic missiles at Israeli cities. Israel's defenses, backed by the US, intercepted most, but the attack underscored Iran's resolve. Russian official Dmitry Medvedev warned of a nuclear flashpoint, a fear echoed by analysts dreading miscalculation. The human toll was palpable. In Israel, missile strikes injured 86 and damaged a hospital. In Iran, residents reported frozen fear as sirens blared. These human stories remind us wars scar hearts and minds. Did disrupting Iran's nuclear program justify the risk of escalation? Was this a necessity or a gamble? Let's dig deeper. Why the strike? Operation Midnight Hammer stemmed from claims of an imminent Iranian nuclear threat. A May 31, 2025, IAEA report flagged Iran's 408 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium, enough for multiple weapons. If further enriched, US officials argued, Iran neared a point of no return, demanding action. Skeptics, including Senator Mark Warner, countered that no evidence showed Iran building a bomb. Dissent from figures like Tulsi Gabbard exposed US divisions. Critics suggest politics, not intelligence, drove the strike. President Trump, facing pressure to project strength, acted after a 60-day nuclear talks ultimatum expired. Israel's prior strikes created a tactical window, but feasibility doesn't equal wisdom. Congressional Democrats, like Chuck Schumer, decried the strike's legality, warning of a forever war. Some Republicans, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, called it not our fight. Was this a response to an existential threat or a political move? The truth likely blends intelligence, ideology, and ambition. The world's response was fractured. Allies like the UK expressed regret, but urged diplomacy, denying involvement. The EU and France called for restraint, with Macron pledging defensive support for Israel, but ruling out offensive action. Russia and China condemned the US, with Medvedev accusing Trump of warmongering. Iran's allies, like the Houthis, ended a ceasefire, threatening US interests. Hezbollah and Hamas voiced solidarity but avoided direct retaliation. Neutral powers like India, Saudi Arabia, Oman pushed dialogue. Saudi Arabia, quietly relieved, publicly expressed concern to avoid Iranian retaliation. At the UN, Secretary General Antonio Guterres called it a dangerous escalation, but the Security Council stalled. The strike strained US alliances, collapsed nuclear talks, and reshaped global alignments, leaving the region on edge. Strategists focus on missiles, but the human toll tells an urgent story. In Iran, viral ex-posts described Tehran frozen in fear, with families in basements. Near nuclear sites, villagers feared radioactive fallout. In Israel, missile strikes triggered panic, with 32 injured at a Beersheba hospital. Psychological scars linger, fueling mistrust. In the Gulf, communities braced for Iranian retaliation. In the US, heightened alerts stoked anxiety. These traumas shape public opinion and stability, often ignored in military calculus. In Iran, the strikes may rally nationalists, complicating regime change hopes. Wars are lived experiences with lasting consequences. Iran's next move. Iran's retaliation won't be conventional. Experts predict cyber attacks, proxy warfare, and sabotage. Iran's history of hacking critical infrastructure raises fears of disrupted U.S. power grids or financial systems. Proxies like the Houthis or Iraqi militias could target U.S. or Israeli assets. Sabotage, including sleeper cells warned of by Iran, could hit U.S. embassies or bases. Iran's calculus balances domestic pride with avoiding catastrophic counterstrikes. A delayed, calibrated response is likely, escalating a protracted, multifaceted conflict. The world must brace for impact. Do gains justify risks? Operation Midnight Hammer delayed. Iran's nuclear program, but at steep costs. Unilateral action eroded trust, especially among non-aligned nations. Intelligence disputes echo the Iraq war. Allies resent being sidelined. Psychological scars fuel radicalization. Iran may pursue covert weapons. Attacks on nuclear sites may normalize. Oil prices above $100 strain economies. Nuclear talks are dead. The strikes may have accelerated a nuclear-armed Iran by hardening Tehran's resolve. They also pulled the US into a conflict Trump vowed to avoid. Was it worth it? That depends on weighing tactical wins against strategic risks and whether peace comes through force or dialogue. You've heard the breakdown: strategy, diplomacy, suffering, and escalation risks. Now, weigh the outcomes. Did the strike succeed or sow chaos? Are motives clear or hidden? Was this necessary or reckless? Share your thoughts below. Subscribe to Global Watch for bold coverage and exclusive deep dives. This is Global Watch, signing off. Stay vigilant, stay informed.